at this question number 12 for JAMB Past Question Physics 2018. The amount of heat needed to raise the temperature of 10 kilogram of copper by 1 Kelvin is its A. Specific heat capacity, B. Latent heat, C. Heat capacity, D. Internal energy. Now, for us to be able to appreciate this question very well, we need to know the definition of these various terms. And we're going to start with number 1, which is specific heat capacity. Now, whenever you hear the word specific, you're considering 1 kilogram. Here we have 10 kilogram, and even we have 1 kilogram. We know we are talking about specific heat. So this definition is still holds true for specific heat, but in this case we're having 1 kg. So specific heat capacity is the amount of heat needed to raise the temperature of 1 kg. It has to be 1 kg of a substance. This time around we have copper, but it could be any substance or any metal by 1 Kelvin. So that is what specific heat capacity is. Now number 2, we look at latent heat. What is latent heat? Latent heat is that amount of heat needed, the amount of heat needed to cause change in state. The amount of heat needed to cause change in state. That is when there is change from solid to liquid or liquid to gas without rise in temperature. So when latent heat is used, there is no rise in temperature. Now number 3, we look at heat capacity. What is heat capacity? Heat capacity is the amount of heat needed to raise the temperature of a given mass. So this is a given mass, 10 kg, it could be 20, it could be 30. So provided the mass is not 1 kg, then we'll call it a given mass of a substance by 1 Kelvin. So that is what heat capacity is. Whereas internal energy is the energy due to the molecular bonding. So internal energy is the energy due to the molecular bonding. So the molecular energy, the positioning of the molecules, that is what causes the internal energy. So from these definitions we can see that C is the right option, because heat capacity is the amount of heat needed to raise the temperature of a given mass, say 10 kg, it could be 20, it could be 30, it could be 100 of copper by 1 Kelvin. But if this mass is 1 kg, then it will be specific heat. So whenever you hear the word specific, we're talking about 1 kg, but once it's more than 1 kg, we'll talk about heat capacity. And that is the answer to the problem. Option C. Thank you.